be here. Thanks.
All right, my first guest, Hans von Spakovsky, is a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation and former DOJ official. A handy guy to have along on a day like this. Great to have you. Were you able to watch Rudy Giuliani on our last hour with me and the team of Outnumbered?
Yeah, no, I did watch it. I always have you on during my lunch hour.
I love that about you. Thank you. So let's start, if we can, with the idea of a definition for collusion. And again, Rudy Giuliani wanted to clear the record. He wanted to get, correction on live with us on Outnumbered. He absolutely believes there's no evidence that the president had any collusion with Russia or his campaign team. But if there were any collusion anywhere, it would not be illegal. Your thoughts?
Well, look, if you want to know the definition of collusion, then you go to the original letter back in May of last year when Rod Rosenstein appointed Robert Mueller and gave him his mandate. And if you look at that letter, it's not very long. He, in essence, is supposed to investigate whether the Trump campaign or any of its officials worked with the Russian government or agents of the Russian government to somehow manipulate the election. And look, it's been more than a year of Mueller investigating, and Giuliani's right. So far, he hasn't turned up a single piece of evidence of any kind of collusion. All of the indictments that Mueller has released have had nothing to do with his original mandate, which is Russia collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian government.
The Department of Justice, your former employer, as
Right.
you think about where we are in all of this, what are you looking for legally to move forward? And, there has been some talk, bipartisan on our couch today on Outnumbered, about whether this investigation is ramping up, heating up, cooling down. Rudy Giuliani said it has a natural feeling of an ending.
Well, look, after a year and a half and the tens of millions of dollars they've spent, they've pretty much talked right to everybody they possibly could have talked to and interviewed who might have known something about this. And like I said, so far, no evidence of any kind of collusion. So unless there's some kind of surprise witness that we don't know about with some solid evidence, it would seem like they're coming to the end of their investigation.
Hans, it was kind of a moment of levity when Rudy Giuliani said to me, well, we hear on your air all the time that it would be a bad idea for the president to sit down with Robert Mueller at this point from all these attorneys that you're having on. We have on another one. What do you say about the president sitting down with Robert Mueller? And what would the conditions be for you for that to happen?
Well, look, if I was his private attorney, I would tell him not to sit down with Mueller because Mueller's got no evidence of any kind to support, the original mandate he was given. So what's the point of the president speaking to him? There isn't one, particularly because, remember, Mueller is operating under the rules of the Justice Department, and the long-held opinion of the Justice Department is that no sitting president can be indicted or criminally charged. So even if Mueller had evidence, he would not be able to do anything with it while Donald Trump is president. But again, to date, he's got no such evidence. So why talk to him?
Yeah, and it's great to get a former member of the DOJ to tell us about that rule and remind us. My big question would be, well, then what is this really about? What would censorship look like? And I'll talk more about that with our journalists coming up. Thank you very much, Hans. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so chief political anchor and the anchor of